Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 10 preview between the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Jets.
Coming off a bye week, the New York Jets offense can have some success versus the Seahawks defense. It won't be due to the passing game. It will be because of the running attack of Sean Green and company. Why the Seattle Seahawks struggle right now with power running teams. That fits the Jets mantra perfectly. So look for Sean Green to have a big day on the ground. And if he has a big day, it goes a long way in keeping this offense on the field and keeping that defense fresh. They also have to find a way to involve Tim Tebow in some type of package in this ball game. Why? Because he has a direct effect on the running game. He can also keep that backside defensive end at bay, thus opening up play action passes, and you'll be able to move the football down the field. Now, on the defensive side of the football, the Jets, on the flip side, cannot stop the run. They have struggles with their gap discipline, and that's what has to get fixed versus Seattle. One thing Seattle does very well is run off tackle, run it outside zone. So setting the edge, allowing your inside linebackers to scrape will do a great job and go a long way in helping these guys be in better position to stop the Seattle Seahawks running game. Moving over to Seattle in this ball game, you have to like the progression of the passing game. Right now, Russell Wilson is playing probably the best football of any rookie in the league, and that's including Andrew Luck and RG3. He's not turning the football over. The passing game looks like it's flourishing. Sidney Rice is now healthy, and a lot of good things are happening, and it just alleviates a lot of the pressure off of the running game, so now you can call a more balanced approach. The offensive line this week, in my opinion, has to do a better job versus the blitz pickup. The Jets will send the pressure. You got to communicate up front in order to be successful. Now, defensively, we talked about the defensive line giving up big plays in the running game. It's due to bad run fits. The linebackers are not filling holes. The linebackers are also getting engulfed by guards. So all that right there is involving the defensive front, in particular the interior defensive line. If they're going to have any success this week versus the Jets, they got to get better in their run fits, and linebackers got to do a better job of filling those gaps. Now, defending the pass, they could be a little bit more aggressive versus the Jets. The Jets don't threaten you deep down the field. So look for the Seahawks to go to more of a cover 3 look or a single high safety and send extra to put a lot of pressure on Mark Sanchez in that passing offense. The run defense has to be an X factor for the Jets. As good as the passing game has developed for Seattle, they still are a run-first team, so stopping the run is vital this week versus the Seahawks. And you look at the pressure defense versus the Jets would be the Seahawks X factor. You got to get pressure on Mark Sanchez, force these guys to get rid of the football quickly, and that way you can get them off the field and get that ball control offense back on it. Now let's look at the personnel breakdown in this ball game, and you look at the big advantage the Seahawks have versus the Jets. It's the defensive backs going against the wide receivers of New York. If the Jets are going to win this ball game, those guys have to step up and make plays consistently. They don't have to be world beaters, but they just have to do enough to keep the chains moving. I like Seattle in this ball game. Look for the Seahawks to come in and be a little bit more aggressive defensively, thus forcing the Jets into a lot of second and long, third and long situations, getting these guys off the field. And on offense, look for the Seahawks to attack the deep third of the Jets defense, putting a lot of pressure on those safeties. So I see the Seahawks winning at home. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Seahawk fan forums and Jet fan forums for always showing football game plan support.